You're watching the Original Music Atlanta podcast.
All right, everybody, here we are. We're back with the Original Music Atlanta podcast. This is episode 11. Today we have VLEEV with us, joining us, and he's going to talk about some placements, how to get your songs placed, and composing music for placements and that type of stuff. So, VLEEV, how you doing today, bud?
I'm doing great. I'm
Awesome.
doing just great. Good to see you. Good to be here.
Nice. It's a little chilly today here in Atlanta, isn't it?
Yeah, it is actually. I just got back from South Carolina from a celebration of life of a close family relative, and beautiful weather down there. And now I'm getting the shock of the cold.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's funny you say that. I have exactly that same thing I got to go to on Monday for my dad. So
I am so sorry, man.
Yeah, these are the times that we live in. These, nobody lasts forever, it seems like. And
no, man, these are okay. Once again, my heartfelt sympathies and condolences.
I appreciate that. So tell me a little bit about your history. We're talking off air and talk about some time up in New York. What were you doing?
I did jingles in my early 20s. I didn't really do them. I learned the craft as a musician because I was a roadie. I was a delivery guy for Bill Sonnenberg, Sonic deliveries of all types, amplifiers, keyboards. I specialized in keyboards, but I was his repair technician. I grew up in the repair business. So I was a pretty gifted young kid, in Swift, and I delivered a lot of the jingles and the major recording sessions. So I got to hang out on a lot of jingles, towards the end of the delivery day, doing the world-class commercials. And they were on tape then, so you heard the same take over and over and over for hours and hours and hours. So you really learned a lot. But I would come in and have to deliver an ARP 2600 and pull out the diagram and tune it to this, make sure that these oscillators were lit and these, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I would say, this guy was Mike Walsh who was going to work this, or Sid Wallasher was going to be the one who was going to work that, or, there's some other keyboard player that would come in. And, I would look and I would see the chart and I would just fumble through it real quick. And I'd say, yeah, it's good. Oh, yeah, it sounds like it.
You were hoping it was good. Ready? We're hoping.
Oh, yeah, man, I was hoping like you don't even know.
Yeah.
The level, the energy that came off me got me into such world-class situations. But I have to say that because that's totally what it was. I was just a kid in a candy store. I had the greatest fun.
Yeah,
with some of the biggest people.
Yeah. Do you remember? Do you happen to remember any of the commercials that we might have heard that they were doing?
Oh God, Wrigley Spearmint Gum, Wrigley Spearmint Gum, the original commercials, the original,
Doublemint Twins.
No, wait, yes, that. But wait, I'm gonna jump that. The original Datsun commercials.
Oh wow.
The original Big Mac commercials, the original ones that Barry Manilow wrote.
Oh yeah.
Sid Wallasher produced.
Sure.
We delivered all chimes and calliope and all kinds of things. I delivered on that one. A Fender Rhodes piano.
Oh yeah.
I had to make sure it was tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have those kind of stories. I'll be 64 July the 5th.
Yeah.
I really got those stories.
Well, hey, congratulations on 64, brother.
Yeah, I hope I make it. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. So you mentioned Fender Rhodes, and I actually have a Fender Rhodes bass, and I've taken the lid off of it, and I know exactly what you're talking about. You literally can tune each key, flat or sharp.
You have to have a special little tool that has a little hook fork thing on it, and it pulls the little tine weight backwards or forwards.
Yeah, they just don't make things quite like that anymore, do they? It's all a plug-in, or it's
it's on the computer, baby.
Yeah.
It's in the box, baby.
I've got
the box, baby.
I've got a Hammond C3 here, and I open up the back of the Hammond and I look in there and I'm like, holy cow.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to clean the contacts?
Not for the
in the motor system?
No, I don't want to.
Oh, there's a trick to that. That's right. Only a trained technician knows how to do that. Now I'm showing off. I'm going to show off now.
Well, I mean,
oh God, I've cleaned a dozen of them, and the first time, I've about had to change my Fruit of the Loom. I'm telling you straight up, buddy. You better believe it.
Yeah, because you don't want to mess up on a 70-year-old piece of equipment, right? You don't want to screw anything up.
170. Yeah, Hammond B3 at C.
Yeah.
Yeah. But those motors that make that make the actual that give the actual realism in the vibrato, you know.
Yeah.
This is not Leslie. This is
inside.
There's a motor system that's inside.
Yeah.
And you have to clean those contacts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
B+ voltage on an anode, and you touch the ends and you go across, and the high voltage spark burns all the dust off, and they're like brand new.
No thanks.
You have to do each one.
No thanks.
Okay, that's enough of that. I'm sorry.
But it is interesting though that with technology today, like in my studio when I'm writing stuff, I can pull up a Rhodes, I can pull up a Wurlitzer, I can pull up a Hammond, I can pull up a synth. Everything is at your fingertips now with technology. But I still think that the old stuff, if it's still working, sounds better.
I wholeheartedly agree in some cases.
Yeah.
My past years, this is going to bring you up to speed to where I'm at.
Sure.
I have been working for 5 years on mock-ups. Mock-ups is where you take orchestral or symphonic performance instruments and you orchestrate. You take a melody, bass line, and percussion, and whatever accents and a chord structure, and that's all orchestration.
Yeah.
And it's been. I have to tell you, it's been the theory of it is, for me, it's been a great triumph. I love it.
Yeah.
It's been a challenge and a learning curve and all that, and I'm awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I made it anywhere. I'm not saying I'm the master of it.
Right.
But now I have this greater respect and understanding of what it means to me to create music and this level, for orchestra. But then I have orchestrators, real true conservatory trained orchestrators that take the music and they make it what it's supposed to be.
Right. Do they score it out? Do they write it out?
Yes. That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what their job is. And that's how we have it mapped out to be. Yes.
Yeah. So when you write something, and are you then recording it at home at a studio? How are you getting?
I'm starting right here behind me.
Yeah.
You're looking at it.
Yeah.
That's my rig back there. My 88 key weighted keyboard, the controller, and my MacBook Pro, and Logic, and the largest screen made up to and to coordinate different screens.
Okay, so you answered a couple of questions there. One of the questions that I like to ask is what is the DAW? You already said that you're using Logic.
Logic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then are you using like Native Instruments plugins and sounds? What's your go-to when you need
Yes, we are. We are licensed. We're dual licensed, me and my partner together. So we have the Logic, and we have certain little bells and whistles separately from each other, but we have other things that lock in together. Like we're all Apollo. He's on the X6, something like that, and I'm on the Twin. But what we do is he'll come over with the hard drive of his stuff, and if we're doing something together, which hasn't happened in a while,
right?
So in other words, we can work. It's almost like open media framework, how that used to work.
Yeah. So you said you guys use Apollos. For those that don't know what that is, it's the interface, right? That goes.
Yeah, it's the audio interface.
Yep.
But it's also the outboard plug-in effects CPU.
Right.
It's better to use it
than
use the onboard plugins.
Right.
It weighs the computer down. I don't have the new fancy M1
Yeah.
blah blah blah. I don't have
Yeah. The one
not yet.
The one we all want. Yeah.
Right. I'm sorry. I don't have it. Not yet.
Yeah.
But we're gearing up for my partner does. He does have it. So
Yeah.
but this is how you work together, and do different things.
Right. You collaborate with gear, you collaborate with ideas and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I've often looked at the Apollo. So it helps with if you've got virtual instruments, VSTs and such going on in your session, and then you've got a big CPU intensive reverb in that session.
Right.
That will kill your computer, and you'll get the beach ball of death, and you'll have to wait for a few minutes. And then it's
the beach ball of death.
Yeah.
I call it the wheel of death.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. That's a new one.
Yeah, it's the
you
beach
just
ball.
Ruined it. I'm a beach bum. I'm a real beach bum.
Oh yeah.
Hilton Head, South Carolina. I'm
nice.
a real beach bum.
Nice.
Yeah. Hunting Island, Beaufort County. That's my hometown.
Really?
Dude. Yes. No, for real.
That's nice.
Yeah.
When did you come up to the Atlanta area?
That's where I just went down there for my cousin's funeral.
Yeah. When did you move to? You're in Atlanta now, or?
Oh, this is like my third trip to Atlanta, but no, I moved back here in 2007.
Okay.
2009.
Yeah.
I sniffed around in 2007. Like, should I do this? No. Is that going to be no? Yeah. Let me run back to my, comfort zone.
Yeah.
That was my problem, running to comfort zones.
Well, that's a lot of our problems, right? A lot of times we want it
really.
We want the comfort of,
can't think of a better comfort zone than that, right?
Right. Okay, so you're currently what are you working on currently? What type of stuff are you writing? All classical type sounding stuff, or you doing something?
Right now, I have focused on a lot of the classical, the European orchestrations, but also too world and also hybrid. Yeah. But then also because I have an EDM background that goes. We didn't call it EDM when I started it. It was techno,
sure.
And it was synthesizers, and I had all kinds of fun, luckily I retained a lot of that information, even if I didn't retain. I had the cassette tapes up to a certain point, but I retained all that music and my son just soaked it up. He said, "Yeah, this is EDM. This is,
yeah." And
he's brilliant.
Yeah. Does he write too? Does he play music too?
Yeah, it's funny. It's a hobby for him.
Right. But he's probably great at it.
He is great at it.
Yeah.
It's a hobby for him. Totally.
Yeah.
He's the captain in the Army. He's in Hawaii at Schofield.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So once you get something, written, and how do you go about, well, let's talk about this, about, copywriting it, publishing. Do you have a publishing company?
Oh, that's first and foremost. You be signed to a PRO and have your IRSC code on your. Well, that may not be necessary. If you already, you got to find somebody. See, and I can't recommend anyone.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
Because I'm at odds right now with someone.
Yeah. Sure.
But you need to find someone to rep you to sync for your sync licensing.
Yeah.
And make sure they're not ripping you off.
Right.
Make sure you get a good. And what's a good? It's going to be an advance towards what it could be, or a buyout. So a buyout is not bad. You're first starting $1,000 to $5,000.
Right.
For that simple.
For that track, and then they own it. They can do whatever they want with it.
They own it. They do whatever they want. They're going to release the movie, be able to exhibit anywhere. You don't stand a chance. Don't even try.
Right.
Just go ahead and take your $1,000 or $5,000.
Right.
Depends. Take the buyout if you want. Do a few buyouts. Get a good name. Do 30 buyouts.
Yep.
Be known as that guy. Start doing some trailers.
Yep.
Trailers are the commercials music for movies that help sell the movie.
Right. I find that stuff is fun. That writing that kind of stuff and doing scores, and I'm a rock guitar player by trade, but I write all kinds of stuff, horror movie trailers and dramatic. You know,
You guys are the new sound.
yeah. Well,
You guys are the new sound, dude. Oh man, Tom Holkenberg
yeah.
from Junkie XL. You know about him?
No, don't.
Oh, come on. Go to YouTube. Go
That's
to YouTube and look up Junkie XL.
okay.
All right. Go to look him up. Just look up Junkie XL on YouTube.
Okay.
You guys are the new sound. We got a guy with us, Izzy Herman. He is a metal guitarist genius,
Right.
but he can also play blues. He can also play rock. He can play 60s folk.
Yep.
He can play anything, but he is a metal genius. We still working on this hybrid sound with him. It has been, of course, I was inspired by a lot of the stuff the big guys are doing, you know, Lorne Balfe, that score for Black Adam, The Rock.
Oh yeah.
The movie, not so good.
Yeah,
The movie, not so good. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
That's my personal opinion. Don't beat me up and don't go to my Instagram and talk trash to me.
Yeah,
please.
well, it's 2023.
Right.
It's gonna happen.
The music was a co-star, and it should get best co-star Oscar.
That's actually a good point.
I'm dead. Lorne Balfe, look him up. Look him up. He's like, but a lot of these guys have YouTubes, and they're really down to earth.
Yeah.
And I've learned a lot from them.
Yeah.
They give you point to point. You can learn anything on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean anything now. Okay.
Yeah.
It's blown that whole online learning concept to a new level.
Yeah. I learned how to change the startup capacitor on my AC unit on the outside of my house on YouTube.
And you saved yourself $175.
More than that, brother. More than that.
More than that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Was it in the middle of the heat wave?
It was.
That's when they really get you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was $375. Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. So that makes a lot of sense, though. Once you get something written, copywritten, get the
right.
Publishing it under your own publishing company is always a great idea, because then you have the ability to sell the points.
You have your mechanical license.
Yeah.
Copyright.
Right.
It's what you need. You have to have if you have a good entertainment attorney and you're steadily working, you have a batch and you do it as an opus.
Yeah.
And you get a mechanical license copyright on up to 10 different tunes that are maybe a minute and 30 seconds a piece.
Right.
That's an overture, you know?
Right.
That's not a long, that's not long.
So let's talk about that. Yeah. That's a good point. Is they're not looking for a 6.5 minute song that has all the, it's almost to the point of jingles. It's a start, it's a body, it's a finish, or a wrap. How long is a typical commercial on TV, or how long is it?
Depends on who you are. My because of my experience, I'm a rap in 4 hours. After 4 hours, I'm repeating my ideas.
Right.
Once I talk to a director, a creative director, a producer, and they can sit there. First of all, let's clear something completely up.
Yeah.
There's no glamour and there's no ego in this work.
Right.
So my job is to play music to help tell the story and put what they want to show in the light that they want to see it in their vision.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to them, right?
Yeah.
I'm listening to them explain to me in musical terms as the best as they can.
Right.
So that I can communicate this to them. And I'm at a piano.
Right.
So I want to get the ideas down. That's where I always write from.
Right. Right.
So I learned that. Yes. I learned that from in my 20s.
Yeah.
You write from the piano.
No,
bass and chord, melody,
And do you chart that out? I mean, are you banging?
I used to.
Right.
I don't. I used to. I'm so lazy now. I'm no good. The computer does everything, and my orchestrators do everything else.
Gotcha.
I don't worry about. No, I don't.
And then,
yes, I used to do that way back. You do bass and chords charts right away, melody. Okay, give them a 16 bar here. Boom. Okay,
Right.
No, yeah. No, I keep it. To keep it so simple is like such a luxury that we overlook.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, so coming back to when you're writing something, what I was asking before is like if you're writing for a commercial, is a commercial 60 seconds? Is it a minute? Is it how long?
30 second motif,
Yeah.
30-second underscore. But the thing is if it's a minute long commercial, if it's a campaign, a minute and 30 seconds, you write a minute and 30 seconds, you edit for 60, you edit for 30.
I gotcha.
So it's the 3 edits. That's how I've learned to do it.
Right.
Now because of the internet too also.
Right.
Now with the old days of broadcast, it was a 30-second and a minute. 30-second and a minute.
Right.
You know? And for me, I do my beats beats per minute to seconds formula.
Right.
I kind of try to keep it tight so that I can end on a beat.
Yeah, that's
so that
brilliant.
I don't have to fade. Yeah, because it's more dramatic.
So you're either at 60 BPM or 120.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And
you hit it on the head.
Yeah. So 98 BPM, you're going to be in the middle of a beat. It's not going to sound right when they do the cut.
No, and I have a trick for that. I have a trick. Either I'm going to fade, I'm going to lose the rhythm and fade, or I'm going to break in the middle and lose the rhythm, and then pick up the rhythm on another so that I can end on the rhythm.
Right.
That's two of my tricks.
Yeah, that's good. When you're doing the song, do you do the 30, 60, 90-second edits? Is that what you submit so that they don't have to do it on their end?
I do it. No, I do it on my end, or they do it on their end. Depends on how I talk to the editor.
Sure.
So it depends on how I talk to the producer.
What they want.
What they want.
Yeah.
And I don't charge any extra for that.
Right.
But we have a mastering guy with us now. Oh God, this guy's a genius.
Yeah.
This guy's a genius.
We just went through mastering on our record, and we used a guy in LA. Local guys.
This guy's he's world renowned, world class.
Wow.
And he lives here now because he likes it.
Right.
But he lives in LA too. So I shouldn't say that. He told me that.
Right.
He said he lives in LA too. But oh God, Errol Hodges, is that his last name? No, I don't want to say the last name. I don't want to say his name.
Well, if you think about it, you can let us know, and I'd be interested in. I've got several people that are looking for someone to master.
But now that I mentioned him, the engineers is everything. We're talking about me doing these tracks and all this other.
Yeah.
That's where the writing is.
Right.
The sonic delivery is not on me.
Right.
I'm not. I have world-class engineers with me, man.
Right.
I've got Steve Wade here from Itchy Brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got Ollie Cotton in New York City, and I've got I haven't used. Those two right now are plenty.
Yeah, so those are mix engineers.
Those are tracking and mix.
Oh, okay. So you
matter of fact, one is front of house and tracking.
Right.
And mix.
Right. Yeah. Typically, the way it would work is like it sounds like what you're doing is kind of like what we do too. Is you use your home studio to kind of compose the piece. And then if you are going somewhere else to record, then you have an engineer that's there, capturing the best sounds and everything. Sometimes you'll even have a producer that's helped steering you maybe in a direction. But then you have a mix engineer that will take each of those individual tracks and get them at the levels, with their ears.
He's gonna give you a stereo mix. It's gonna be.
Bang.
It's going to be the baby you want to deliver to your mastering guy.
Right.
And the mastering guy is going to be putting the paste in the
gluing it together. Yeah.
Yeah. And the icing on it,
Yeah. So then, and that's at that point, then this, the song is done. Do you shop for placements at that point after it's mastered, or are you making these things like?
Oh no, these are for clients. These are on a per client base. That whole system I just ran through.
Yep.
We do that for clients. They're paying for all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's their baby. That's how they handle it.
Yep.
This is how we deliver the best to them.
Now, if you're doing a trailer, That's a little different. That's a little different than like
Yeah.
a commercial. So what's a typical length?
We don't specialize in trailers,
Okay.
and there's not a whole lot I could even expound on that. But I know the guys that can and do.
Yeah.
I just met them. They are awesome at what they do, man. Yeah, man. Forget about it. We're gonna. Matter of fact, you should probably bring us all back on your podcast one day.
All together, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then what's
there's a neat little community of post audio for film, people. Yeah, of visual media, I should say.
Yeah. And Atlanta is growing exponentially in this because of the film industry that's here.
And the gaming too. Two things I haven't done: a horror film and a game.
Yeah.
I haven't done a video game.
Yeah.
A horror film and a video game, and I've got the music, thanks to my gamer boy sons.
Yeah.
That are grown.
Yeah.
I've got all the sounds. I've got all the bit sounds, and I make little bit music things just to see. And they told me, "Yeah, you got it, Pops. You know how to do it."
Yeah.
That's good. That'll win. So they are a good barometer, and they help me. This is how I can cross oceans with it. You know,
it's interesting you say that. In my band Hope Sanker for years, we would write a song and record it, and if my bass player's kids started singing it or dancing or they'll tell you, hey, this is good, hey, this is not good. They are honest to a fault.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, don't worry, I've gone through a couple of dozen. This is bullshit, Pop. This is no good. This is whack. This is terrible. Oh, this is no. Start out with this. You're doing too much. Don't play chords. Play this. You got to think like a kid, Dad.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Well, we're a little past being kids, but I know
a little past.
Yeah.
Let me know how 63 is working out for you. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here
right behind you. So
all right.
So what do you have on the books? Like what do you have coming up next that you're
we've got right now I just turned in it's a female cop action series theme song.
Right.
And some movements for his sound bites and underscores. I gave him sound bites.
Yeah.
I just turned that in. We're gonna see what we're going. It's the first stage of this. And he's a first-time director with me, and he was referred by somebody.
Right.
So I have good feelings about him.
Good.
An action film coming in the fall, and a nonprofit film, a nonprofit short that's going to the PBS circuit and film. Yeah, that's so far. So the rest of it is open for clients.
Right.
If you have your films, you hit me up. Google VLEEV and find me, or VLEEV.net.
Right.
And that's my website. You can leave me a message and it gets straight to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the key.
I'm not hard to find.
Yeah. What's the turnaround time? Like if you get a client that says, hey, I've got this cop action show and we're looking for something on this. What?
Well, like I said, once I communicate and if we have to do a visuals, if he has a storyboard or some visuals, we do a spotting session and we get an idea of the music and I shoot him little things and we're on a Zoom like this or similar. Mm-hmm. And I'm playing actual sounds that I might use.
Right.
And he likes it. Then I work that demo up.
Right.
I work that demo up in about 4 hours.
Right.
That's where I'm at. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And then I tweak and play with it another 4 hours.
Yeah. 4 hour blocks are good.
Oh yeah. That's me.
I've done the marathon 10.
That's old days.
Yeah.
When you were on tape,
you
had to have that stamina.
Yeah.
You don't have to kill yourself.
Yeah.
I'm trying to live longer. I'm trying to lose weight, eat right.
Yeah, I understand.
Not sit at this thing for long. The next desk is coming. It goes up and down. That and the computer, it goes up and down, so I get to stand up and I can edit.
Well, there's also there's that fatigue, but there's also the fatigue of your ears, and then
Yes.
there's also the fatigue of the part. In my opinion, it's like I'll do a part and I'll do it and I'll do it and I'm like, I'll get to a point where I'm like, I don't even like that part anymore. I listened to it so many times. That's not even a good part, but it actually was okay if I would
Oh,
have
yes.
stepped away from it.
Oh, I do. We get to that. We get to that even when the lay back the picture and then the director goes, I don't like when the string does that right there.
Right.
Okay. So then guess what? Watch this.
Right.
We take the string out right there and play it back through that part. Go back to the scene segue. Okay, go back to the scene segue.
Yep.
It comes up to that part. He goes, yeah, that's much better. Then he thinks and he goes, maybe add a little bit of the string.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, I have fun with it.
Yeah.
There's no ego in it. There's
Well-
no ego. I go right back and slide the fader up.
Yeah. Or that's the beauty of using MIDI. You're banging out, you're writing these parts and
Right.
And
oh no, we write it in there, right? You're right.
I'll go in.
Automation.
Yeah. I'll either automate or I'll mute mute that note or I'll
My engineers don't allow me to automate. I'm sorry. Here we go. This is the funny part.
Yeah.
My engineers don't allow me to automate. My engineers are like, you just do this and you give it to us.
Yeah.
And that's how we live.
Right.
But you're right. But I can do that. I know how to do that.
Sure.
On the smaller budget stuff that my engineers don't get to, I'll do a little bit of that with one or two tracks. But I don't get too fancy.
Yeah.
With it. Yeah. But no, it is a great tool. Automation is a great tool.
Automation's like when I'm mixing like full songs and stuff. Everything. I automate all kinds of things. I'll automate a reverb coming in and going out. I'll automate delay coming in and going out. Volumes up, volumes down, all this stuff. So it's at the end of the day, you have total control essentially of everything you recorded.
Wow.
But when you deliver some of that
Do you have a weighted keyboard? Do you have a weighted keyboard in your studio?
I've got the Native Instruments 46. It is not weighted. My old Korg is like semi-weighted. Do they have a semi-weighted?
Is it 88 key?
No, I don't have anything 88 key. Even my Hammond doesn't have 88. But I'm not a keyboard player. I got 24 frets, so I got 2 octaves of guitar.
Why I asked you, you have Logic. You have a Logic studio. You're in your studio, right?
Yeah.
If I was there jamming or playing or recording with you,
right?
We were working on something,
right?
Collaborating or whatever.
Sure.
I would want to play what I could really deliver the sonic best.
Sure.
To what's going on, and that's what I play.
And I think also with what you're doing, if you're composing, doing more of a score and composing, there are instruments that need to go down that low, and there are instruments, in my situation with a band, we put tape on the lower register of the keyboard. It says we have a bass player, stay off. I'm kidding, but essentially,
no. No. And some bass players often get hurt when I go down there.
Yeah.
Because I'm embellishing, especially we were in a band. We did a lot of Steely Dan. Rhymes. I didn't mean to rhyme. But we were doing a lot of Steely Dan.
Yeah.
And it was like, and I'm a Steely Danologist. I love this stuff.
Great stuff.
The John Donald Fagen's just the chord, master blues. It's jazz. It's just, I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, So the bass player and I would always test how good he was.
Yeah.
If he would come up to me and tell me, don't play down there, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you freaking loser. I'm sorry.
Well, you are treading on his territory for sure, sonically.
Territory, but we're okay. You're right. You're right.
You got to look at the frequencies. We just went through this.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. Where the bass player was actually stepping into my frequency zone, and our producer was like, hey, you do something with the tone there, or the Hammond organ was in a frequency zone. It's important when you're doing music. If you don't want it to sound like mud, where everybody's kind of stepping on each other's frequencies, then you
Yeah.
need to be thinking about where things sit in the mix and
Yeah.
be conscious of that. But anyway, we digress on that on that.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So how did you said you were in a band doing Steely Dan. How did you go from being in the band doing band stuff and to just doing it yourself?
It's been an in and out transition.
Yeah.
I've been in studios. I've been on the computers since it was Sound Tools
Yep.
back in, God, that was the late 90s, 98, 99. I didn't own it. I was fortunate enough to be around. I had already used
I lost you there. Check. I lost you. I can't hear you.
Okay.
There you go. I got you back.
Sorry. All right. All right.
You dropped off. Tools? Is that Pro Tools or?
That's right. That was the precursor to Pro Tools.
Wow.
Sound Tools.
All right. So start from you use Sound Tools and say that it was a precursor to Pro Tools.
Yes. So I started out on Sound Tools in the late 90s, 98, 99. And that was the precursor to Pro Tools.
Right.
And when I came to South Carolina, in 93 from Atlanta,
right.
I had my Kurzweil K250, and that was like state of the art then. That was 93. So I was already in this realm, but I'd been introduced to PCM recording by Marzette Williams in Atlanta recording studio through Curtis Mayfield. I was in the Curtis Mayfield band for about a year, 2 years almost. Yeah.
How old was he at that point?
Oh God, Curtis! I think he was in his 60s for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in his early 60s.
Yeah. So you went from being in bands, and how did you end up? Like I said, getting into composing yourself, everything.
He gave me a big jump in the in 80. Like I was interning. I was an intern. You didn't get paid, but I was hanging out with everybody on the set of on the studio recording the post for "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker."
Oh wow!
It was Keenan Ivory Wayans, comedy farce on blaxploitation films. It was very funny. Had some icons in the film throughout, but anyway, the music. And I got to be on the inside. I programmed a lot of the Digital Prophet 5 stuff that he did, sounds that he liked, and we'd write. I'd program them. He'd like them, like the sound. I'd write it and then lock it in for him where he could find the sound.
Mm-hmm.
He thought that was the neatest thing. Anyway, so I became his technician there on that with Carlos Glover, his recording engineer. Yeah.
Nice. Now, do you create sounds? That you like make plugins or synth
Yeah, I do, but I don't spend a whole lot of time on that.
Mm-hmm. You make.
Let me just segue that into when I work with a budgeted project, and I'm charging my fee, which I won't go into here, but it's a fee by the finished minute of music that it's going to actually be used.
Right.
And it's usually rounded off. So the cue sheet, when it gets written out, it's one thing, but then you've got to round all of that off. Anyway, the point is how we get to that whole thing is it's a matter of, it's like I said, starts out with them telling you what they want and you kind of rocking back and forth till you can get to something you can send, and then you can go off on that. Right. So you don't get locked into the constant making changes moves.
Right.
That
kills everybody's time, right? That wastes everything.
Time, spirit, fun.
Yeah.
Suck the air out of the room.
Sure. when you get a
You know,
request or you talk to a producer, do they say like, "Hey, we're looking something kind of with a reggae feel," or "We're looking for something"? Do they have a specific request, or they just say, or do they give you a key? We need this to be in, A minor. We need this to be happy. Do we need this to be sad? What do they request?
you sounded typical. That was beautiful what you just did.
Yeah,
I love it when they come to me and they say, we want a reggae sound here.
yeah,
So I'll play on the piano a little reggae, little jaunty lights,
yeah,
bubbling, a little bubbling, left hand bass,
yeah,
moving like Sly. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Getting that rhythm going,
yeah,
bubbling like Junior. Hey, and try to throw in a melody. Or if they're telling me, like you just said, it's a matter of them actually describing an emotion. Get happy here.
right.
Yeah, we have the modes. I'm I don't know why all the great R&B songwriting gospel guys,
Yep,
they have those modes down.
yeah,
Why? Because it's the happy and sad emotion.
yeah,
It's the evil and good.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
hmm,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Happy and sad with R&B songs,
sure,
evil and good with the church songs.
yeah,
And I grew up knowing those things. And then when I went and learned it, I'm not conservatory trained.
right,
But I had 2 years of classical, the Hannon book, and all that other Shermer and all those other different. Let me just tell you, when I got down this whole language and I just transferred it in just to see where it would go, and then I got into this hybrid, and this is where I'm at. I've been into this hybrid for 5 years, so
right. Well, that's good.
it's my town and I know it. So I'm here saying it. This is so egotistical.
Well, it's good to be confident. It's not good to be egotistical, right? That's what Mama said.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, exactly.
so
I'm
let's
confident.
yeah, let's talk about, it's been a strange couple 3 years or so. What did
Oof.
you do during COVID? How did that impact, you know, you're
You
in there
really
by
want to
yourself
talk
right now,
about
but
COVID?
yeah, how did that
Oh my
impact
God.
your creativity and your workflow?
Oh,
Yeah.
my creativity went through the roof, but
Yep.
man, I okay, here we go.
Yeah.
2019, September to November, I had nine,
Yep.
nine directors, including one documentary
Right.
director,
Right.
signed.
Yep.
All right. I had the money, the upfront, the 50% money from three of them.
Right.
So it's okay. The others are straggling all. They'll come along, but at least we had it together. We had our deal signed. We're good. We go into 2020, January, 2020, February.
Right.
The boom hits. No, you cannot gather in public. You cannot come out. Do not, you cannot without a mask. You cannot. You will not.
Yep.
Film production shut down.
Right.
I lost 6 of those 9 directors. All right, one of which was I got to do the work on 2 of them, the first 2. One of which was the documentary, and that paid off much better. But the point is, it was a bad year. My rent was behind twice. I mean, it's nobody's business,
Right.
but still,
It's real
hey,
life.
with challenges, But thank God, didn't end up in the street. We're good.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when that hit, and then all of a sudden you didn't have the 9 things to be musically thinking about, did you start doing any of your own stuff, or was it a time where
I
you're like,
started recording like I had all the clients in the world.
right,
I built a 186 theme underscore and song library
right,
on my SoundCloud Pro.
right,
If you just Google the 5 letters,
yep,
Google search VLEEV, you're going to get my SoundCloud.
right,
Just go to it. Just get the app. It's free.
yeah,
Those themes on there are, and some of these rappers have been saying that I got some themes for good beats and whatnot. Well, they haven't approached me. It's
right,
because they're not big time, but it doesn't matter.
right,
You put a decent beat behind it, a rhythmic beat behind it. It's good for anybody. But as orchestral underscore, I'm confident. I have great stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and
It's been charted.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You said SoundCloud. It's for those of you who may not know, if you're listening to this and we're talking about DAWs and all this kind of stuff, you know what SoundCloud is. But if you don't, it's kind of where you can host music to be able to be heard outside of the typical, Spotify's and iTunes and those type things. Do you use Spotify or iTunes or any of those platforms?
I don't use iTunes or Spotify because here's what I'm after. My SoundCloud Pro, excuse me, it's my personal platform that I can have any producer or director instantly get to showcase anything. I can easily link or move a file for them to hear it and showcase the file. Is this what you're looking at? It's been one of my best marketing promotion tools. I don't care about the fans. I don't mind if people like and love my stuff. That's great.
Right.
I'm not after the likes. I'm not after the fans.
Yeah.
I'm not after the spins. I'm after the jobs.
Right. Right.
And it's my best showcase spot. For me to be able to tell someone, you could just Google me.
Yeah.
VLEEV.
Yeah.
VLEEV. Google me and you'll see. Find the SoundCloud. Go and look at some of the stuff I have done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
not
play,
bragging.
We'll play some on the outro of the show. What would you give like an aspiring composer or writer, or what kind of advice would you give to help them get their material in front of some of these buyers, or get them some exposure? What could you tell the young you old you knows now?
I have that answer.
Yeah.
Conservatory, single, beach house studio.
Yeah. Okay. So go to school, live at the beach.
Conservatory.
Oh yeah.
Not engineer. Conservatory.
Yeah. Yeah. And then so you said that, then you said beach house. I like the idea of that. And then
beach house studio. No.
Yeah.
Beach house studio.
Right.
See? Yeah.
Right. Where you can write and still look outside, be inspired by life.
That's right. A walk the beach with your little dog or whatever, or your big dog with the tennis ball, and then go in, wash up, eat a little something.
Yeah.
Okay. Sit down at the studio and start. Okay, here's the first part of the whatever.
Right. Yeah.
18 minutes into the action scene or the love scene.
Yeah.
Here, digital delivery, boom. They liked it. Good.
Yeah.
I'm on the beach.
Yeah. Right.
Not,
And it doesn't have to be the beach, like different strokes.
For me, it does.
Yeah, different strokes. Like I'm right now, I'm basically in the middle of the woods. You would never know it.
Ooh.
But I can go out, and I just did between shows here. I just went for a little walk out in the woods. Kind of
ground you.
Yeah.
I'm right here at the edge of North Druid and Brookhaven.
Yeah, that's not
right
grounded.
Here. No, it's not, because the highway's right here.
Right.
All right.
Sure.
But where we're at, got this wall, and I can step outside with the little dog, and put my bare feet on the ground and not have to worry about being run over or anything.
Yeah. Well, that's so.
But
I
see,
guess that's a good point. Have a good writing place. Have a good writing place where you where you can, you can step away from it for a second, think about things, come back to it, and be in an environment that's comfortable for you to be creative. This stuff doesn't happen by itself. I'll tell you.
No, it does not. It does not.
As many tricks and samples and all of that stuff, you still have to put it together in a musical way, and in your case, for a specific usage. I
know the track I want you to play. Since you're talking like that, you're talking about specific usage.
Mm-hmm. What is it?
If you found my SoundCloud,
I did.
Slide down from the top, and it's called the Breakers. I think it's Breakers Movements.
Okay. And Breakers Movements. That
The brokers movements.
Okay, Brokers Move. All right.
Brokers. I'm sorry. I don't even know my own stuff.
Yeah. Well,
There's some 186 tracks. You can't keep up with all of them.
Yeah.
And there'll be 270 by December. Then we're going to chill on that and get the sync licensing stuff is all certain beats and songs.
Yeah.
Songs that appeal to certain age groups per genre of film.
Right.
So those will be all classified as well.
That's a great point. That's a really good point and I've thought about doing that in my library as well, because I've got 16 terabyte of storage space.
That's the way to work, baby.
15 years worth of materials, and I've got everything from rock to reggae to like I said, horror movie to, and I guess that could segue into best practices of file naming, folder namings, categorization. I think all of that is just as important to be organized. I've got 18 terabytes. I know exactly where to go to get, into this realm, this project. I know exactly where to go to get into this. Nothing worse than going into your hard drive and going, oh, what did I name it? Where did I put it? It's just,
I'm gonna tell you, man. You're the one you're ready to deal with the film meetups. I'm gonna give a big tip.
Sure.
You've got to go and find all the film meetups where all the filmmakers meet.
Right.
There's too many of them, and there ain't enough of us scoring.
Right.
But there can be. I've been teaching beat makers for the past 10 years how to score their friends' little, grassroots films, But the bottom line is you got to go to the meetups. There's these Monday night meetups that are listed. They're on Facebook. There are film meetup groups. There are different types of film maker groups. The colleges, the online and offline. You can go through Google search and find all the online classes and find the social media that connects them. And I have all these little tricks that I've been working for the past 10 years.
Right.
That I have been laxed on because I've been focusing now on building this scoring symphony, as well as working with this nonprofit that my girlfriend has. She has a film company and she has a nonprofit called shinemusicandfilm.com. And Shine is about music and film for adolescents and toddlers even. She started with children in preschool and brought it up to the adolescents and the young adults, the underserved community, with access to equipment and know-how, and prepare them with experienced people who donate their time, and all those kinds of
well,
things to bring up.
That's kind of also with this podcast that I'm wanting to do is not just showcase, original rock bands and that type of stuff, but showcase people that are creating music and doing different things that, and then passing the knowledge on to help a younger me coming up that has all the ambition in the world, doesn't really know where to get started, to, hey, maybe this is a road that you could go down to do something with, or maybe this is the direction you should go with it. But we should be handing the knowledge off that we have.
That's what we're here for.
Right. It really is.
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on different soundtracks? Let's just go here. What was one of the best scores or soundtracks in movie of all time?
Oh my God. Oh gosh. Well, John Williams, I have to say, because of the three of the ones he's done are like on my top shelf. But then you've got Quincy Jones and his style, especially what he did for The Color Purple. Then you've got Hans Zimmer, hands down.
Oh yeah.
Hans Zimmer, hands down. Trevor Morris and I just mentioned Lorne Balfe earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, hands down, like the number one score that's been like, I can tell you the one. I'll tell you. This is obscure even for me.
Yeah.
Because I'll you know how I know? I played it on the piano more than anybody. And then
Yeah.
since I was a child.
Yeah.
All right, it's the Peanuts theme to Peanuts.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The Peanuts score.
Oh yeah.
The Charlie Brown, the Lucy and Linus score.
Yeah.
You know?
You ever? Yeah. World recognized. Now, have you ever?
Oh yeah, I used to.
Yeah.
Have I ever? What?
Have you ever heard a bass player named Stu Ham, play it on a 4-string bass?
No.
Check that out if you get a chance. Yeah.
Stuart Ham. Hamm.
Hamm. Yeah. Stu. Stu.
Okay.
Yeah. Stu Ham. Peanuts theme.
Peanuts theme.
Let me just bring up a score. Well, as a kid, I listened to a lot of different things, but I listened to a lot of rock and roll clearly, but I remember buying different soundtracks. The record come out and the one that I bought as a kid was Escape from New York. I think that was Carpenter did that one. John Carpenter, I think.
No, I didn't know the Carpenters did that.
Not the Carpenters. I think it's John Carpenter. I have to.
John Carpenter did that.
And there's
there's
an amazing.
John is a genius.
Yeah,
John's a genius. By the way.
There's an amazing melody on the Escape from New York theme. That was amazing. And then a little bit later on, there was a movie called Rush, and Eric Clapton did the soundtrack. So I'm a big Clapton fan as a kid. I was like, oh, let me get that. And it was great. It really that record was probably more inspirational to what I'm doing in my band Giza Is Gone than anything, because I learned there that you can use sonic atmospheric sounds to create a vibe, and then bring a guitar into it, build up, and then come back down to the atmospheric thing. I mean, it's just the canvas that you can write with music. I like to not have any rules. I didn't go to I didn't go to school for music. I took a couple lessons and had an ear, and I had ambition to do it. So I just went.
But you played in bands.
Yeah.
You see, all the top scoring guys. Oh, by the way, the top scoring guys now, the most popular, Hans Zimmer, Danny Elfman, Christian Henson, non-conservatories, and they've been in bands.
Yeah.
They were in major bands.
Yeah.
Danny Elfman, Oingo Boingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zimmer, Jeff Beck and Zimmer did a bunch of stuff, didn't they?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's right.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's Hans Zimmer on the keyboard in Video Killed the Radio Man.
Yeah. Radio Star. Yeah. What about? And there was another. Just talking about soundtracks and stuff. Another one that inspired me in the usage of strings and the composition of using strings and French horns, and that is Dunkirk. You get a chance, listen to the scores that's on.
Is that John Williams too?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if you got Google. If you got Google there, take a look. I don't know who did it, but I remember it.
I do have.
Yeah, I remember it being really good, but and I don't know that there's any current. I don't know if there's any current soundtracks that inspired me to go buy the record for. To go find it on Spotify and listen to it. But I will tell you this much: I was doing a Pro Tools session, and I was looking into mixing. There was somebody that was mixing a score that had 156 tracks, because
that's Hans Zimmer that did Dunkirk.
Well, there you have it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
156 tracks in what?
They were mixing in Pro Tools, and they were showing how to kind of organize your session. And I'm looking at this session, and it's like, and it might just be an oboe for 3 seconds on track number 91.
Right.
And it's because it was actual real oboes in the symphony that was playing it. and I was just amazed at how cool that is, and
Hmm.
B, how much work it would be to mix that and get it to sound like what it sounds like, at the theater when when the action scene's happening.
Absolutely right.
You know, it's those mix engineers doing that stuff have their work cut out, you know. So what's up? What's next for you? Yeah, after COVID, we got through COVID. You had some jobs starting to come in.
Made it through COVID.
Yeah,
Um, Straggle. I've got out of the six I lost, I got two of them back.
right.
About 8, 9 months down the road. A funny thing happened. I started doing remote recording. Two things, no, funny, because you asked
Yeah,
what did you get any creativity? What happened out of it?
yeah,
Well, yes, the question is huge creativity.
yeah,
Two things happened. I was creating music from the hours of 1 to 2 in the morning till 6 to 7 in the AM.
yeah,
Okay, in a room, in a house, me and my girl, and at the edge of the bed, boom, my rig,
yeah.
small space, the laptop and the keyboard and the headphones.
Hmm.
Okay, boom. Anyway, I started, I had like 100, 125. I says, okay. So I started going, but I started doing remote recording,
Right.
$30 to $50 a shot.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
they send me the track, Dropbox,
yeah.
we transfer. I'm doing it back. Send me the BPM or send me the file of the session if it's Logic,
Right. Yeah.
or send me the stems,
The
or
stems.
send
Yeah,
me your drum and your bass, and I'll put the chords.
yeah,
Or send me your chords, and I'll put the drums and the bass, whatever.
yeah,
And I'm doing 30. If I'm doing multiple tracks, I'm doing $30 a track. You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
But if I'm doing like the whole song, and I just want to 2 or 3 tracks I'm playing, I'll do $50
Yeah,
because I'm done in 20 minutes.
yeah, yeah. No doubt. Right. Well, to be honest, COVID basic basically, uh, I wouldn't be doing Zoom calls because I wouldn't have
Right.
really ever know a FaceTime call maybe, but I wouldn't be doing Zoom call interviews without having to
Yep.
have gone through all that.
It brought the whole IT industry up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, but there's still nothing better than in my band situation having 4 guys in the room. But at the same time,
I
literally
know.
with my video editor on this project I just did, we did the whole 90-minute show. It took us about, we didn't do it every day, but it took us about 2 months. We'd have a Zoom
Mhm.
call every week, and we'd sit on the Zoom call and we'd go over section by section, sharing the screen. And I'd make outrageous demands, and he would do it. He's amazing, Kyle. Kyle Lanzillo. Lanzillo is awesome.
Okay.
But yeah, man.
Okay.
We've just had to, as they say in the business world, pivot. We had to pivot and figure out what works, and this tends to
Man,
yeah,
that's in the survival world, man.
yeah,
You better stay on your feet.
yeah,
And if you fall, don't stay down there for long. Go
yeah,
ahead and get up.
yeah. No, you got to get
Get
up.
up.
Yeah,
Gotta get up.
yeah.
Yeah, gotta get up.
Well,
Yeah,
VLEEV, man, I appreciate you coming on.
likewise.
Let us know if any updates that you have coming. If you land something huge and want to gloat about it, I'd love to hear. You know what I mean? I
Well,
love.
that is awesome. It's funny because I mentioned we have a mastering guy on board, and I'm going to turn you on to him.
Yeah.
Holder, Errol Holder,
Okay.
Errol Holder, Errol.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give you his information too.
Okay.
He, we've got a complete audio post team, but we've also, between the three of us, we've got $10,000 worth of post audio tech that removes the crud and sound from any dialogue audio. So
Wow.
we're going to start patching up some post audio editing
Yeah.
stuff for some people that need it badly.
Yeah.
So
Now,
anyway,
when you're saying that, are you talking about like, for example, I'm in this room right here. I've got open mic that's really pretty hot, and I've got some
right.
par cans that are over here that have fans in them.
Right.
And if I didn't have a noise gate on this mic, you would hear the
Right.
fan going.
You would hear that. I
Right.
could kill that noise. I could kill that completely.
Wow.
It uses AI. It's called Clarity Pro.
All right.
It's a Waves plugin.
All right. Well, let me ask
Look it
you.
up. You can get it yourself.
Well, that's a good segue.
That's the one I use. These other guys, I got Will Powers, my other engineer, Will Powers.
I know that name.
Yeah, Will Powers he's a post audio. He did Queen Latifah stuff, and he did Stars, and he worked with Left Eye from
Atlanta
TLC.
guy though,
yeah, he's an Atlanta guy.
Yeah.
He is a genius too.
Yeah.
He's the one that taught me about Clarity Pro, but they have the heavyweight stuff, the big time. Yeah. And their waves too, but the other one I think is Isotope and NI.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Isotope is great stuff. I use Isotope for I use it for a lot of stuff, but Isotope is great stuff. You mentioned Waves earlier. Waves is good stuff. They always get me with that $30 sale. This plugin's on sale for $30.
I caught the sale. I caught the couple of good sales.
Yeah. Hey, which is another good thing. Being in this field, in this game for a while, if you can just wait to Thanksgiving week, Black Friday, if you can wait until the Christmas time is a good one, but you can get really good deals on plugins if you catch the sales. You won't see me at a retail store looking for a cheap TV. You'll find me on a computer trying to find cheap plugins.
The cheap plugins, right? Exactly. Same here.
So,
even though my engineers have spanked my hands and allowed me to not do what they'll handle that. Just give me the files.
Yeah. They want it raw.
What you get to convert them to WAV files. But you can also send us the MIDI, and maybe we can pick some prettier instruments together. Okay, that's how it's like. The talk is like some prettier instruments together.
Yeah. And you, like you said it several times, no ego. Hey, that's
no ego. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, and it took me about 36 years to get to the no ego point. It's only. And
you and me, it took me a little longer than 36 years.
Yeah, probably me too.
I don't know. And then I realized how we were raised. We were raised to have no ego by some very egotistical parents.
Wow. Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I think they call that apple not falling far from the tree.
From the tree. Yeah. How about that?
I think that's kind of how it works.
That's what took my mind. It just took my mind back. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on. VLEEV, Google VLEEV to hear some stuff, and I'm gonna look for Brokers Movement here and send it on out.
Brokers Movement.
I love it. All right, buddy. Nice to meet you, and thanks for coming on.
Peace. All right. Bye now.
Yeah.
All right.
You're watching the Original Music Atlanta podcast.